Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are fine, enjoying good health. Welcome to another lecture of physics. I hope this lecture is also going to be very interesting for you. As you all know students, we are discussing unit number 2, that is kinematics. And kinematics is the study of the moving objects, and today we are going to start question number 17 and 18 of this unit. Okay students, the topic which is in question 17-18 is graph. What is graph? Graph is a pictorial way of presenting information about the relation between different quantities. So as you have seen the graph on your report card also, and when you see the cricket match there is a graph of the cricket match also. So we have seen so many graphs in our daily life, and you also have listened the previous lecture, so you hopefully you all well understood that what is a graph. Student, in the graph there are two quantities, two type of quantities, the dependent quantities and the independent quantities. The independent quantity is taken on x-axis and the dependent quantity is taken on y-axis, and these all things are explained in the previous lecture. Let's see today's question. Question number 17 is how speed and time can be related through graph. Means if you draw a graph between the two quantity, one is speed and the other one is time, then how these two quantities are related through graph. Here are two quantities students, speed and time. Speed is a dependent quantity and time is an independent quantity. So we will draw speed on y-axis and time on x-axis. And hopefully you all know what is the unit of speed. It is meter per second. Okay, in speed time graph, time is taken along x-axis and speed is taken along y-axis. We know it. Okay students, there are two cases of the speed time graph. First one is object moving with constant speed, means speed is not changing, it will remain same. For example, if a car is moving with 4 meter per second speed, then the speed will remain the same from the start to the end. And the second one is object moving with uniformly changing speed or object moving with uniform speed. Now what is the meaning of uniform? That if after the passage of 5 seconds or 5 minutes a car is covering 5 meter per second distance, then after 10 seconds the car is covering 10 meter per second distance. Similarly, after 15 seconds the speed will be 15 meter per second. So here we have seen that with the passage of every 5 seconds the speed is changing 5 meter per second. So there is a equal change in the speed with the time. In the other example, if an object is moving with the speed of 5 meter per second in first 5 seconds, but in the next 5 seconds its speed is not changing 5 meter per second, it will become 8 meter per second. So this change is a random change, it is not the uniform change. So here you have seen that in the speed time graph there are two cases. First one, when the object is moving with constant speed, and the second one when the object is moving with uniformly changing speed. Let's see their graphs. The first one case in which the speed is constant. See this graph students, here you have seen that time is in minutes and speed is in kilometer per hour. These are also the unit of kilometer per hour is also the unit of speed. In this example, in this graph students, with in first 10 minutes the speed is 15 kilometer per hour. In next 10 minutes, or you can say in 20 minutes, the speed is again 15 kilometer per hour, and on 30 minutes the speed is again 15 kilometer per hour, and on 40 minutes the speed is again 15 kilometer per hour. So students, for example, this is a car. So the car is moving with the same speed of 15 kilometer per hour. The car is not changing its speed. So with the passage of time, with the passage of every 10 minutes, the speed of the car will remain 15 kilometer per hour. The car is moving with the same speed of 15 kilometer per hour. Let's see the second case, students. In the second case, object is moving with uniformly changing speed. When object moving with uniformly changing speed, thus its speed time graph would be a straight line. Straight line means that the object is moving with uniform acceleration. The unit of speed is students meter per second and time is calculated in second. So meter per second and one more second, it will become meter per second square. And we know that meter per second square is the unit of acceleration. So the straight line in the second case, object with uniform speed will give us information about the acceleration. Let's see its graph, students. This is the graph of the object moving with uniform speed. In this graph, you can see, students, that after 1 second, the object has changed the speed of 5 meter per second. After 2 seconds, the object speed will become 10 meter per second, and after 3 seconds, the speed is also become 15 meter per second. So with every 1 second, the speed is changing 5 meter per second. So for example, this is a car. After the passage of 1 second, the car has covered 5 meter per second speed, and after 2 seconds, the object or the car is moving with 10 meter per second speed, and on 3 seconds, the object is moving with 15 meter per second speed. So after every 1 second, the car is moving with a different speed. At 1 second, the car is moving with 5 meter per second speed. At 2 seconds, the car is moving with 10 meter per second speed. But students, you have also seen that there is a equal change. 0 to 5, the change of 5 meter per second. 5 to 10, the change of 5 meter per second. From 10 to 15, the change of 5 meter per second. So speed is changing here, but it is changing with the equal amount or the equal quantity. There is a change of 5 meter per second. So this is the example of uniformly changing speed. Hopefully you well understood it. Next is question number 18. How can we find distance? What is the unit of distance? It's meter. How can we find distance traveled by a moving object by using the graph? Means if a graph is given to you, then how you find out the distance traveled by the moving object? Okay, so in this question, a graph is given to you. I show you the picture in the end. Area under the speed time graph. The area under the speed time graph represents the distance traveled by the object. If the motion is uniform, then the area can be calculated using appropriate formula for geometrical shapes represented by the graph. This means, students, that if you find out the distance, then what you have to do, you have to apply the appropriate formula of the geometrical shape. Whatever the geometrical shape is there, it is a square, it is a rectangle, or it is a trapezium, you will put the appropriate formula and you will calculate the area of that certain portion. Then in this way you can find out the distance traveled by that moving object. Look at this graph, students. Here you can see that an object starts its motion from object O at point O, then it will move towards point A, then B, and then C. So if you want to calculate the distance from point A to point B, then what you have to do, you will draw two vertical lines from point A and point B. Now it becomes a square. Now what you have to do, you have to calculate the area of this square. What is the area of the square? It is length into width. So here the length is 15 minus 0, it will become 15, length is 15, and what is the width? 30 minus 10, it will be 20. So 20 is the width and 15 is the length. Now what you have to do, you have to multiply 20 into 15. So that will be your distance, which is in meters, which is in between this area or in between this square. So this is the method to calculate the distance traveled by a moving object by the graph. So what you have to do, you have to calculate the area under the speed time graph. Whatever the area is inside that graph, you have to calculate its area by using the appropriate formula of the geometrical shape. Students, I have told you the method that how you can find out the area of this square. Now this is your home task to calculate its area. So what you have to do, you have to calculate the distance from A to B by using the formula of the square. Next is your diary, students. Your diary is that you have to learn question number 17 and 18 from your notes, and also you have to calculate the area under the speed time graph of question number 18, which is given on your notes. That graph is present on your notes. Students, that is your home task. Hopefully you well understood the lecture. That was all about today's lecture. Have a blessed day. Allah Hafiz.